I wish I could fix this light. All right. Stories, getting up the Reddit thread. Probably should have done sooner, but you know. Hi, Kim. How are you? I'm gonna go live on both TikTok and um YouTube. I'm never live on here, so I figured, might as well start going live on here. Um, and yeah, see where it goes. Oh, great. I'm glad you're doing good. Okay, so yay. Now I'm gonna go live also on TikTok. Getting my live ready. Okay, perfect. Actually, I need to change the title. There's so many things going on. Reddit ghost stories. Okay, I'm gonna go live now. And also spooky music because you can't go wrong with that, right? The music going. I haven't. Is Renfield good? I wanted to meaning to check it out, but I've been so busy. I'm getting ready to go to VidCon too and everything, so it's been trying to get everything situated with that. Okay. Stories. Mhm. Okay, we got a story going in. Hi, hello everybody. So just so everyone knows, I'm live on both YouTube and TikTok. So we're just gonna get that going. Oh, it's on Peacock. Okay, I gotta see Renfield on Peacock. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna read some stories, you guys. Now, this is from the Ghost Stories Reddit forum, and the user BR9NDY, I think it's Brandy, but that's how they spell it, says, "Can someone help me understand what I saw? I don't usually use Reddit, so sorry if this is weird, but I have a question slash story for anyone who can tell me what I saw as a kid. I remember the different occurrences I had very clearly to this day. When I was younger, around 5 or 6, I used to see a woman at night standing in the corner of my bedroom. I couldn't see her face when she first started appearing, but it would make me very uncomfortable, and I'd put on the blankets over my eyes so I didn't have to see it. And I would call to my parents until they would wake me up and come into the room. I remember telling my father what I would see when I first started seeing her. My father, who was very religious, told me not to worry, that it was a guardian angel. I remember trying to be comforted by this idea, by what he was telling me, but until it showed up again a few nights later. Every night it got closer and closer. She was a very tall woman with black hair. And every night she'd get closer, and I look and put on the blankets over my eyes and call for my parents again and again. I stopped doing it since she was standing over the edge of the bed. I'd cover my eyes, and try going back to sleep, too scared to say anything. Before anyone says it's sleep paralysis, I was able to move my body and turn over when I'd cover my eyes. So I don't think that was the case. Hi, Chris. Oh, hi, Bundle. Thank you. So I don't think that was the case. Now, I remember the most scariest encounter I ever had. Every time I talk about this, I get very teary-eyed and panic, but I need any advice on what people think I could have seen. I've also been questioning it for years, but this is a night when I woke up, I didn't see her at the end of my bed. So I remember rolling over on my left side and seeing her directly face to face with me. She had no expression on her face. She had no eyelids. She had a very pale face and it was staring directly into my soul. I remember the scream. I yelled. It woke my parents right up and they ran into my room. I broke down as a 5 or 6-year-old and described to my parents what I saw that the woman again, but this time I told them in death how she looked. What what 6-year-old is seeing people with no eyelids? I had no idea what ghosts were. Wasn't even allowed to know what horror movies were. So how the hell could I even imagine something so disturbing? I'm still living in this house, but I'm 19 years old now, and I never saw her again. Does anyone have any ideas? Hi, Crispy. You guys can always email me on, so I have my email in my bio on my TikTok. I also have my link tree and stuff in my YouTube side. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do that. You guys can send me stories. I've read a few of them. I don't advertise it as much, I guess, so I don't get as many stories, but I have done stories that people submitted to me. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jay. Okay, so I'm gonna give it an upvote. It's really tough for me to say, like, what I think this spirit could be. I definitely feel like it's something. My theory on this is astral projection almost. Maybe. I don't know, maybe like astral projection because when you are asleep, you travel or you allow things in your space. I have a sister, she's a trainer, she's had visions, she's seen things, and part of me feels like your body is the most vulnerable in your sleep. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe as he was sleeping or getting ready to sleep, he was probably able to conjure up something of some sort. I don't know. If anyone has ideas, let me know. I'm happy to hear your guys' thoughts too on this. And also, I really appreciate the people that are on YouTube right now. Thank you guys so much. I never go live on YouTube. I know I'm still in the works of growing it. So thank you for joining me on YouTube. All right. I'm also getting ready to go to VidCon, so I figured I would do a live. I'm gonna try to do some lives when I go to VidCon, but we'll see. I know that's always very, very tricky. All right. So this is another story I have, and it is from D-Tastic95. And the story is called The Hat Man. Mickey hasn't hi JK. So he hasn't moved yet, but he has had activity with like my Polter script and other stuff. I don't know if I have yeah, oh, ball is right here. I leave that there too. I don't think he likes the cat ball as much, but yeah. If you guys are you can see my my Mickey, my haunted doll behind me, but live yes, yes, because I'm live on both YouTube and and TikTok. I do. Its link is in my bio. Feel free to check those out. He has, yeah. I was doing a live, and I think some people saw a couple activity. I did like a live where I just left the camera on Mickey, and people did their thing on there. So they were commenting stuff. Hi. So this is the Hatman story. Okay, I don't know why, but every house I moved to has always had the tall shadow guy with a top hat thing. A few months ago, I went walking through my house, and he was in the hallway. I jumped back and turned the light up, and he was gone. For the first time ever, it showed his face, and it was very scary. Yesterday, I heard a story about the Hat Man, and it described the same guy to a T, but not the face. Why does he show up in every house I live at, and why did it have a face this time? No one in my family sees him, only I do. What is the deal with that? Hi, thank you for the follow, Rook. So I'm gonna see what people are saying in the comment section of this thread. So there's a guy that's called Tinfoil Fedora. He says, Jason Ofut wrote a book on shadow people and the Hat Man. It's called Darkness Walks. It is a great read that has case studies and possible stories and more. I think we're gonna have to check out this book, you guys, called Darkness Walks. Trophy Hill. I love either. So I do have a little trophy right here. I love Sanrio. So hi, Jose. Oh, thank you, Alvi. Thank you. Seriously, thank you guys. Shouting out people on my YouTube. Thank you so much for joining my YouTube. So Kim says the painting with the girl with her hands covering her ears. My take on the painting is that she could hear spirits around her mother. If you look, you can see one above the mom and also beside her. Oh my God, Kim, thanks for that recommendation. I'm about to go back and look at that painting a little bit more. Oh my God, fun story. Not fun story, but fun story. I'll just say it like that. So I did a story on that and I posted it over at my Instagram and this person got so livid. They have like a business as a painter from what I saw, but they got so livid and they're like, you're profiting off this story trying to make it into a creepy pasta when the painter is very famous and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, I did study fine arts in college, so I'm not making it into a creepy pasta. I'm just mentioning theories on it. But they got so livid, gave me like the middle finger, and I don't know about you guys, but like if someone has a business, like I don't. think people should be trolling other accounts like that. It was really weird. Hi, Spiritual Bomb Show. Um, Sorry, I'm talking about my people on TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, it was just like really interesting. But anyway, oh, before we get into another scary story, you guys, I have something fun to tell you. So I've been doing a psychic medium development circle in Los Angeles area, Los Angeles County. And yesterday we did a circle in um, this like shop and we had a really good turnout. We had most people come to the shop, and also it is an occult shop, so people do like they have the altars there. They do magic there, spells and magic there, and it was really fascinating, you guys. So I in the circle we do a meditation before we start doing readings and channeling things. And in my vision, so I'm not. I'll say this: I'm not much of like a person that talks to like goat entities, if we'll call it that. Um, and anyway, but more of the story is that I saw this vision and I was talking to somebody that works there, and apparently that pan, that's the entity's name, pops up and in the shop row. So that was a really cool experience. Like I was able to channel some things that happened in the shop. So yeah, I don't know. But if you guys question about my circle, or I can do more stories, I've been thinking about doing like skits of like what I experienced in the psychic circle and stories. Like there's some really fun stories. There was one where I was giving a message to somebody, and it was really cute because I was like, okay, normally I don't do this, but I have a message about your house, your living situation, and it's actually your plants. So I'm seeing a lot of elemental energy, and I'm seeing that they want more plants, like the plants want more plants. And he was like laughing. He goes, "Oh my God, my house is a mess, but I have been definitely like really big on collecting plants recently. And if they want more, I'll give them more plants." And it was like really cute. Like I was like, oh my God, I just like spoke on the plants we have, like to have more plants. So yeah, I thought about doing that because like we don't record anything. It's like a safe space for people, and I want to do more of those like lighthearted skits on my TikTok and stuff, or like on YouTube, of course. I post my shorts on there. So I don't know, but hopefully we can do more of that. And thank you for the likes. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the next. I mean, I don't see. Like, here's the thing. So the question was, why does this person see shadow people in the Hat Man? So if it's not sleep paralysis, I definitely think that this person's just more open. Like whenever you're able to see things and other people can't, it just means that you're more open to that. Um, but yeah, that's like my take on it. Wish they were more though, but that nonetheless. Okay. So here's the next ghost story by the Sleazy E. And it says something weird that happened last night while helping out a friend get home. So I haven't used Reddit in a while, mainly use Twitter nowadays for my social media urges, but I didn't really know where else to put this, so I'm making a return. Last night, I got a call from a military buddy that he was looking for a ride home from the bar and didn't want to spend $30 on an Uber ride home. I said I was hungover and figured it would help to drive with the windows down and get some air. It was probably 12:30 a.m. and I was driving around my neighborhood trying to take an alternate route that I hadn't taken before, but knew about it. So basically, one that went through the residential areas and stayed off the bigger road from bigger, more populated routes. I didn't really want to fight traffic the entire way getting to downtown. You know what I mean? So I'm driving and everything was normal. I was listening to some random podcast about World War II. But then as I'm passing this one random house, a couple of streets down from mine, there was a kid standing in the front yard right on the edge of the road. To be honest, this doesn't sound really weird, but looking back, it was past midnight, and this kid was maybe 10 or 11 years old. He had a red shirt, tan shorts, and sneakers with a blonde bold, totally normal. So as I'm coming up to this kid, I get to a speed bump and slow down. So I was able to get a better look at him, and he wasn't playing. He wasn't running around. The other kids were with him. He was just standing completely still and meeting my gaze as I'm about to pass. Like the entire way down the street, he doesn't stop staring. And after I had passed him, I kept looking at my rearview mirror, and he still doesn't stop looking. He doesn't cross the street or go back to turn around. He just keeps standing there staring at my truck. And on the drive back, I told my friend after picking him up about the kid, and he was so interested. So So anyway, my friend, he was so interested about the story, so I took him back to the same way where I saw the kid this time. The same way where I saw the kid, but this time he wasn't there. So fast forward, when myself and my friend got back to my place, sitting in my living room, shooting the shit, watching YouTube, we hear this super fast, quiet knocking on the door. Like so quiet, my AC almost completely smothered the sound. And this time it is 1:30 AM. And at this point, both my roommates are out of town for the long weekend, so I was kind of very weary of answering the door. I peek out the window next to the front door and see no one there. Honestly, this could have been a tree limb hitting the roof near the front door, but in that moment, it was like I was having a heart attack thinking I'd see that kid there. So later, when I was in bed just laying there, I heard more random knocks in different places. My bedroom is right next to the front door and goes out to the patio. The front door also connects to it. These knocks could have been at the front door or just some random spot in the house. But at this point, I was so tired, I really didn't care to worry about it and passed out. So waking up this morning thinking about those knocks really creeped me out a bit more. But just doing a walk through the front of my patio, nothing was out of the regular, so there was not much else to go on. I know this isn't really like this most bone chilling story, but kind of goes to show how kids can be so creepy with zero effort. Edit. I posted a snap video of the knocking that I'm hearing on my profile, still hearing it a few days later. Oh, you guys, that's chilly. I was thinking this was like a Black Eyed Peas story for a second there. Um, I will say this is why you should always have a ring doorbell because you never know what's knocking at your door. And I'm the type of person that I will avoid looking at windows to see people knocking on my door. It's in the ring camera. Um, yeah, I can't stress enough about that. I've had some really creepy looking people knock on my door in a few hours. So this one time I was cooking, and keep in mind, like the way my house is, it's like there's a ring, living room, and most houses have a living room and the dining room, which is the front of the house, right? So as I was cooking, and like someone's ringing the doorbell like 9:30 late at night, and when I looked out the room, there was like this person wearing like a hat, carrying like a big truck bag, and I don't know, it was really interesting. Never very quiet neighborhood, but it was weird. I don't know. And that, like, imagine like you open the like window and you see that, it would have been scary. It would have been scary. Supernatural says if paranormal investigators come in the majority of hauntings are demonic, only few of them exist. Then I would not trust that paranormal investigator. That does not sound like a reliable paranormal investigator. um, that is very fear mongering. But yeah, all right. So here. So this is the second story. So this is from Only Negotiation, 7545. Um, okay, so I think people that are quick to call anything. So here's my thing. I think anybody that is quick to call anything demonic really hasn't worked with a lot of spirits, and they've never really encountered a demon because you'll know. It's so different than anything that can ever really encounter, and it's not I won't say is like rare, but it's also not as common. And also, it's really rare to find. Yeah, so that's my take on it. If you watch a lot of shows, that's also another thing. Most people will never call things a B word. So, not to say that it doesn't happen, it can, but also a lot of the times people don't understand the spirits or what they want, especially if the spirit is really restless or has had a traumatic experience when they die or has had unfinished business. So just because a spirit is feeling restless or traumatic, it doesn't mean that it's going to translate very well with the living, and it can very much scare people. We read stories on the Reddit thread as a good one where the child had a traumatic death, and people were scared because it was creating like a lot of activity, but it wasn't demonic. Obviously, people were scared, and just because you're scared, it doesn't mean it's demonic. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Um, so we'll take it for what it is, but that's the whole thing with the paranormal. Each and every person has their own opinions on it. There are a lot of unknowns with it, but you can't say for certain everything if you're monitoring things, you know? question says, when you have done investigations, have you ever felt the spirits around you even when you're no longer at the location? No, not necessarily. So I will say with yesterday, I did have to go home and cleanse myself because I was actually speaking to at this point entities. They were not spirits. So yeah, sometimes when they're not spirits and they want to give you a message or something, it yeah, I think they can linger, but it doesn't happen as often for me. Um, but yeah, we do things like when I do the psychic circle, we're opening up ourselves to things and investigations. I always do like a little ritual of like saying goodbye to that place and like removing my energy and cleansing my energy before I go, and then I go home and I do another cleansing. But yeah, I've had a pretty good no one following me type of thing. But yesterday was definitely like that one chance. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna go do another cleansing. And one of the witches that works at that shop told me to just make sure to do another cleansing. I'm like, yep, we're on the same page. I'm glad, but it wasn't anything bad. Honestly, it wasn't anything scary. Um, but that's a good question, Kim. Okay, so the story goes, the story that happened to me 6 years ago. So I used to live in a decent-sized town in Pennsylvania called I lived with my mom, my sister, and my stepdad. I was around 11 at the time. I'm 17 years old now. So this was about 6 years ago, and on to the story. It was just me, my sister, and my stepdad at home. I was in my room playing on my Xbox 360. My mom was in the bathroom, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a large black figure peeking into my doorway. I looked to see if it was my stepdad, considering my stepdad was tall, but it wasn't. What I did see, though, was the same large black figure swing into my sister's room. I ran into the bathroom where my sister was tired, and yeah, so my sister was, and tried to close the door, but the door closed. I tried to keep it open. Once I did get the door closed, I told my sister what had happened. When we took a look at the door's lock and started to lock, when we started to look at the door's lock, it started to lock by itself. My sister, being much older and braver than I, swung the door open to see if it was my stepdad messing with us. But he wasn't there. So the context, the hallway was pretty long, so he could have not ran in the hallway and hid in time. He's also 280 pounds, so we would have heard him run. And at this point, I was crying from fear. My sister carried me out of the house because she was also freaked out at that point. Once we got out of the house, she called my stepdad, very upset, and said that it was messing and said that it was messed up that he was messing with us and and had us terrified. What he said scared me even more. He said, "What do you mean I'm messing with you? I'm in the basement doing laundry." Mind you, this is a three-story house, and about 2 weeks later, my mom had another encounter with the spirit, but that's a story for a different time. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's interesting. See, I do find it fascinating when people are able to both see something. I think that that for me is very fascinating because it's like a double confirmation. Um, like I always tell the story, but it's like the story where like me and my sister heard my other sister that was not at the house at the time. She was working like what 35 to 45 minutes away or something like that. So yeah, I think those are really fascinating stories. I remember a while ago when I did read a story from a user, they emailed me and it was the same thing. Like they also experienced a haunted experience, and I was like, whoa. Chris says, speaking of investigations, are you going to a haunted location anytime soon? Yes, I'm trying to schedule some stuff out. I also know that this year they have like a couple of paranormal conventions, but here in LA and stuff. I'm gonna try to go to a couple of them. It's just really hard because like I try to email some of these people and then I know that like it gets so busy and everything, and before you know it, it's already here. But yeah, a lot of these paranormal conventions have stuff. Um, I would love to go to the Queen Mary and do an investigation there. I know that they're allowing a couple of people to do some stuff, but we'll see. It's tough to say. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't think I mean, I feel like they have both different takes on it. I don't see like not that it can't happen, but I guess I would want to wonder why would it do that? Like, what is the point? Um, So I don't know. It's a good question. Okay. So for those of you who experience children ghosts, what is a creepy experience? Okay. That has 9 comments. So we'll look into that one. So, okay, so this question is like it's a small thread that just started on the ghost stories thread, so they don't have a lot of stories, but we'll look into it. And the question is, for those of you who experience children's ghost stories, what is a creepy experience like shown in the movie? I think of like that scene in Paranormal Activity where the two girls are in the bedroom and like the spirit like grabs the girl's hair and like flings her across the room, right? Like he like throws her across the room. I That's like one scene I can think of, but I can't think of like that actually. Like I haven't heard of anything like that happening in real life. Not to say it didn't happen. I personally never had anyone tell me those stories, so I don't know. um, yeah, yeah, I'll keep you posted, Chris. I do want to do some investigations for sure. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I feel like LA. I will say this. I feel like in LA, it's so much harder doing investigations in LA for some reason. I think it's a lot harder. Plus, I've heard too from other like local investigators that like they charge like spaces will charge a lot of money to do investigations at their spots, which I can see why. So it would be different than like Colorado, which I think I'm gonna try to go to Colorado and do something there. Um, like some out of state investigations I would love to do, just because I feel like it's really hard. Um, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind trying something here. Okay. So this is what King Moon Racer says. I had an ex-girlfriend who told me how when she was young she'd be afraid to go to the bathroom at night because of the old lady ghost in her apartment. It was like a scene from Sixth Sense. She would look out and then make a run to the bathroom while the old ghost lady chased her. Once she gets into the bathroom, she would try to pee as fast as possible while the ghost would flatten itself and ooze to a space between the door and the floor. Then forms itself into a ghost lady and stares at her while she finishes up and chases her back to the bedroom. The ghost lady wouldn't enter the bedroom though. Oh, hello. That is scary. Okay, you know what I just remembered? So does anyone remember the scene from It? Was it? I think it was chapter It. Like the second one, they're all kids, and one of the kids he is at church, and the lady that comes out of the painting, like she's like the like weird like abstract looking lady from the painting. She like comes out and chases after him. Does anyone remember that scene? What's the? I don't remember the kid's name. I'm really bad with the character names. I don't know what that is. But hello, Zyler and Leah. Okay, so that's interesting. That's gonna get an upvote because that is spooky. All right. So Nineta says, I rented an apartment where the previous tenant had a 6-year-old daughter who died of cancer. She would giggle and climb on the bed when I was trying to sleep. I'd tell her it was time for bed, and I'd feel someone lay down next to me. My ferrets would play with her during the day, and when I let them out, um, and when I let them out, and even when they were in their cage, someone would let them out even though they were already in their cage and they went to classes. Their toys would be moved when I got back. I would blow bubbles and they would dance around like there was a breeze, even though there wasn't any air movement. I grew up around ghosts, so to me it was just another person in a different plane of existence. We coexisted for 2 years until I left for school, and I was kind of sad to move. Oh, that's a tragic story. Oh my god. Thank you for the follow. Okay. One is from mad underscore scientist 222. When I was younger, I was staying at my ex-boyfriend's house. We were both on summer break from college. I had no idea of any previous experience in the family home. One night, I woke up and had to use the bathroom. I opened my eyes to a little boy in blue overalls standing against the wall next to me, watching us sleep. I rolled over and grabbed my ex's hand and pretty much hid under the covers. The next morning, I played it off as I was probably still asleep and dreaming. But every night, I'd wake up to that bathroom. I'd see him, sometimes in the hallway, sometimes in the room. And I finally said something to my boyfriend and his mom. It turns out his mom calls him the little blue boy with blue overalls. I was so stunned. Apparently, he only shows himself to women in the house. He scared the crap out of me, but he didn't give off nefarious energy. I mean, anything that like like I said it again, I'll say it once. Um, I truly think it's creepy seeing anything when you're sleeping and you're, like, seeing things in the hallway. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person that I do not like sleeping with the door open. Like, for those of you guys on YouTube and TikTok, if you sleep with that door open, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know how you're able to do that. How are you able to do that? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, I love the frog emoji, Albie. Thank you so much for those. Those are so cute. I love that. Yes, and Johnny Kim says, "I sleep with the door closed and locked." Yeah, exactly. That's the only way to sleep is with the door closed and locked. Like, also, I just want to give a shout out to people on my YouTube. Thank you so much for being part of my life. I don't do much live on YouTube, and I'm trying to get better at that. So, yeah. All right. Now, that was the end of the thread. Hopefully, they add more stories in there because that is fun. Okay, so this is from Championship Sad 1057. So it's called The Voice in the Fire Station. So I work 24-hour shifts at a semi-busy fire department that had been around since the 1870s. We run an ambulance unit. I sleep in my own room, separated from the male firefighters. A few nights ago, a voice woke me up, clear as day, beside me in the room. It was a deep, old-sounding voice. He said, "Come on, get up. It's time to get ready." It startled me out of my sleep. It was about 3 a.m. I jolted up, looked around the empty room for the voice, and there was nobody there. But I decided to get out of bed and get my shoes on. The second I get my shoes on, the tones went off, calling us out of the code blue. Code blue is a person in cardiac or respiratory arrest. The man had a heart attack and had died. He was the first person to survive CPR and being shocked by the AED in our entire country for almost 10 years. He, he went home a day ago. He is 70 years old. Oh, I wonder what that voice was. Do you think that, like, so here's something that I was told a long time ago by, like, one of my mentors. So whenever, like, people try to get you to rush or do something, it could be, like, that person's, like, ancestors or spirit guides trying to protect them from harm. Not to say this is what that is exactly, but I've heard of that theory, and it's interesting. Chris says, even though I'm a firm believer in the paranormal and supernatural, I also like to keep an open mind about all other possibilities as well. That's okay, right? Yeah, yeah, no, I think it's always good to like look at every possible options, um, because it's like you never know, right? It's always good to have like extra pair of eyes to double check anything that could be going on in a space or situation. And that's why I never like to like affirm anything as like for certainty, unless like I've done maybe my reassessment, but then I'll go with like my opinion on it. But I don't like to say for certainty on things. I'll say it's my opinion on things. I think that again, this goes back to like, this is a very interesting thing. Everyone has opinions or experiences, and it's a collective of that and how people come up with like their conclusion on things. Okay. So that was interesting. um But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep giving you guys a shout out. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being part of my YouTube Live. Um, in your opinion, what's your opinion on incubus and succubus? I mean, I think it's a thing for sure. I did a story on celebrities and their sexual encounters with spirits. Most people say like, oh, because when I read these articles and I watched the interviews, they're titled as like so and so had sex with a ghost, but I think that it could also fall into the spectrum of an incubus or a succubus. Um, and also just depends on the like also they'll if they explain the aftermath, it can also probably discern that more so. Hi, Secret. Okay, cool. Cool beans. Okay. Fun fact, Gillian Anderson, who played Scully, a skeptic on the show The X-Files, is a believer in the paranormal. Oh my god, that is a fun fact. Thank you for sharing that, Kim. I had no idea. I've been thinking about rewatching The X-Files. So I started watching it about a year and a half ago, but then I got so busy with my job that I had to like take a moment, like pause on shows and other stuff. Like, well, when I say came up, I mean like other shows were like now being posted, and you're like, oh my god, a new show, gotta watch it. And then I got moved into that. But Yeah, I wanna do an X-Files, like, marathon. I miss that show. Watch X-Files, totally do it. You should totally watch X-Files. I'm gonna get some water, so I'll be right back. Yeah, be right back, you guys. I'm gonna get some water. Hi, Huntober Hess. Okay. So reading for me, I usually bring my water with me, and then I just forgot it today. Good. Stay hydrated, guys. Stay hydrated. Maybe drink enough water today. So I'm also live on both YouTube and TikTok, so everyone knows if looking this way. Um, you know why. And I'll probably move it more over here. Okay, so this one, where's my mouse? This is called the smiling creature. So my friend went to a campsite over the weekend. When she got back, she told me everything while completely shaking. She was staying on a campground in Burns, Tennessee. She told me that the cabins were separated from each other, and everywhere in the distance were trees. Each night there was these big twigs breaking, but she couldn't see it because it was complete pitch black. She told me that she's a light sleeper, but not even the most quiet noise can wake her up, which she thought was very strange. The last night she was staying at the campground, she was asleep like always, but then she woke up with more twigs breaking. But it sounded almost like that thing was right at the window. She jumped out of bed, grabbed her phone, turned on her flashlight, and looked through the window. She didn't see anything, so she decided to open the front door to the cabin. And as soon as she was about to tell me the rest of the story, she started crying. It took a while for me to get to her to tell the rest of what happened, but after a while, she was finally able to tell me the rest of her experience. She told me that as soon as she opened the front door, she flew back to the door, saying to herself, "I was this thing here at the cabin every night while staying here." She stood up, slammed the door shut, and quickly locked it. She told me that as soon as she got back from that trip, she's been waking up at 3 a.m. every night after that experience. Started seeing glowing white eyes and a huge smile. She always turns on the lights of her room, and there's nothing. Every night before she goes to bed, she thinks about that smile, saying to herself, "Who was that? And why was I the target?" The next day, we started doing research, and none of the stuff had anything to do with the experience my friend went through. This is a true story, and if you don't believe me, ask my friend Kyle. She always wakes up at 3 a.m. to this day. Oh, thank you for the likes. Oh my god, thank you, Nova. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Also still wanna give you guys a shout out to my YouTube. Um, I'm really, like, I'm happy that I'm doing my live finally on YouTube. Never do that. Koopa is good. So, fun story, you guys, if you don't know. When I bought this house, I also inherited a tortoise with the house, and, today we found Koopa in my mom's flower garden, and, my mom, needless to say, was very sad, so she's debating about moving the plant. We do get Koopa, like, so we do every time we go to the grocery store, we buy him, like, a variety of vegetables and plants and stuff for him to eat. But you know what? He likes those flowers right now. Uh, it is what it is, you know? So, yeah, he is being a little yeah, Koopa, and he walks fast too. Yes, for a tortoise, he does walk pretty fast. I'm always impressed by that. Yeah, it's have to get him to, like, on a good moment when, 'cause he comes out in very sporadic times. So, like, I try to catch him, but it's usually like he wants what he wants, exactly. He want I can't help it, you know? I have heard of La Llorona. Yes, yes. Sorry, so it's Laura, right? Laura, I think? I apologize if but yes, he is a he. He is a very cute and adorable. I love him very much. And, but I think my mom really wants Tortoise to be like a she. And she keeps calling Tortoise a she. I'm like, Mom, I do check. It's a he, but it doesn't matter, you know? It's cute. Okay, so this story is called The Man in the Moon. My mom has always been able to see ghosts and spirits. She has many experiences, both good and bad. This has always made me a firm believer in ghosts. I can't see ghosts though. I've always had a very good sense of what my spirit would be supervised and stuff, whether it be from a person or from a house. And on one day, a few months ago, after I was born, and had finally been placed into a different room than my parents, my mom got up in the middle of the night to get some water. We know exactly why she woke up this suddenly, but it took it off like a big deal as she wanted to the kitchen. When she got into the kitchen and had a glass of water, she had seen something in the corner of the eye. It was a sort of figure that was walking into the room. The mother, of course, decided to follow this said figure. She didn't know whether it was imagining it or not, but she wasn't going to resist it. When she was walking, when she was walking and walking in the room, she could hear dipping coming from inside. Once she got into her room, she noticed a figure standing next to her bed smiling. It was an old man wearing large glasses. The man notices my mom in the doorway and nods slightly before walking out of the door of my crib without a sound. My mom stands there for a second before making sure I was right. And I wasn't fast. I was smiling by myself. She then walked out of my room and headed back to the bed, not mentioning any of this to my dad, who was asleep. A few weeks later, my mom and my dad were going through some old photos of my dad's family. While looking through the photos, my mother notices a picture of an old man with large glasses. She immediately recognizes the man as the same man who was in my room. She asks my dad who the man was, and he claims it was his grandfather who had passed away years before he had even met my mom. My dad and his grandfather were very close, and my grandfather's death was a huge impact on my dad. My mother told my dad about how she had seen his grandfather in her room at night and just got up for water. This honestly has to be one of my favorite stories my mom has ever told me about, because it made me know that even though I never met my grandfather when he was alive, he still cared and wanted to meet me. Oh, well, that breaks my heart. I had a few other paranormal stories from my mom if anyone wants to hear those. I'll probably write about them too. That made my eyes water. That my heart. That is so cute. Oh, thank you for the shares, Chris. Thank you so much. What is the ghost child figure holding the red staff behind you? Oh, these little things. So I got them at I think I got them at the spooky swap meet here in California. And this lady makes these cute little figurines, and they're very light. Okay, here we go. It's from the shop is called Abel or something like that. I'll just show you guys here on. So this little figure is very cute, and I guess the website is like abbybell.etsy.com or something like that. um, but yes, and I got a pair by the way because I figured they're so adorable, you know, they're so cute. This is the other one that I got, and I love the little bag. But yes, I guess she has an Etsy store. That was sad. I know, it made my eyes water. It was so cute when she said like, "Oh, it lets me know that he wanted to meet me." I'm like, "Oh, my heart." That really just got me the feels. That really got me the feels. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna upvote this because it made me feel things. It made me feel a lot of things. Uh, all right, so this one is from cats dash and underscore yogurt. So this is called The Figure in the Hallway. Starting off with me going to my dad's house. He lives in this beautiful house with his girlfriend and their 2 kids. And me and her kid are really good friends, but her and her brother are with the dad for a month and a half. So I'll be alone for some time. But my first night here without her, I saw something funny. A shadowy figure in the hallway downstairs laying face down. I started to hear scratching, and when I looked down, the figure is gone. So I'm really confused. I went into my room and hid under the covers. I hear someone walking up the stairs towards my room. I'm praying. It's not what I think it is. I'm praying it's just my dad checking in on me. Keep in mind, it's 4:28 a.m. The silence is the second loudest thing I can hear. My breathing is the first. Now I peek out from the covers and all the lights are on the hallway and in the game room. My parents' door is open and I start silently crying because I thought the shadow did something to them. I see the shadow. It floats into the air. I can feel it breathing above me. I close the little I close the little hole that I made and I can see out of it and it starts breathing rapidly. Eventually the breathing stops and my door closes. I couldn't go back to sleep until 7 a.m. A little traumatized from the experience. Again, this is a 100% real story, not made up. Took me some courage to be able to write this and put it out to the public. We'll be posting again sometime soon. Have a good day and do something scary. Uh, okay. I don't know. This is an interesting story. Someone asked, "Is there a history to the house? Has anyone ever seen or experienced anything?" The original person who posted this said, "Nope, first experience here at my mom's house. However, the experiences started before I was born for everyone else." And then someone else says, I'll tell you that because it's me. Um, but yeah, that is an interesting thing. Yeah, I mean, it's good to know that people have experienced hauntings in the house because that's always like my go-to for things too. Like, what else have other people experienced? Um, Kim says, "Are you going to merch like t-shirts soon, or have you?" Um, no, I haven't thought about getting a merch yet. But I did order some shirts for like paranormal conventions and also VidCon. So I posted the picture for those of you on my TikTok and YouTube if you haven't seen like my Instagram. I posted a picture of the shirt, so it's like at Stephanie Strange with a ghost figure. In the back says "Tell me your ghost story." So I haven't thought about merch yet. Maybe soon. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you for that question, Kim. Yeah, I just for now have that. I was really inspired to be honest because we did a ghost tour. Oh, fun fact, you guys! I did a ghost tour. Well, I'm gonna say ghost tour. We did a tour at the YouTube office in LA, and it's near the coast. But yeah, we did a tour there and we had all kinds of ghost stories. I posted it a while ago on my on both TikTok and YouTube. We did that on YouTube, of course. I think because I mentioned the word YouTube on TikTok, it was like, we're not going to put this video out. But their YouTube office is haunted. And as a matter of fact, they have a little area, I think it's on like the second floor, and they're like phones. You can hear people's ghost stories and stuff that they've seen there. And if you don't know much about this space, it used to be, I think like an airport or something like that, or like a place where they would station planes. I'll remember it more when I watch the video. I had more information on there. But I wanted to do a whole video on that, but it just wasn't performing very well, so I wasn't sure if I should do any videos on it. Um, but I think I might do like a longer video on my YouTube, just because like obviously YouTube is not going to flag me for saying YouTube. Um, but yeah, they had some stories with that. I brought equipment, and I'm hoping fingers crossed, that we they'll allow me to go back again because they were so open. They were seemingly open of me wanting to go back and do like an actual investigation at the YouTube office, which is so cool. Like that's so awesome. Hi Mars. And so I would love to do something like that. And see. I think it'd be really fun though because a haunted YouTube office, and it's a huge place, guys. We do all kinds of events there. Um, it's it's a big office. Like we did the tour for like I think an hour and a half or something like that. We walked around for a while, and but it's a huge place. I would love to do more of like a deep dive video and like talk through what I felt. So I might just do that more so on YouTube. And to be honest, I've been wanting to do more on YouTube just because like you know a lot of these spaces and haunted locations that I've covered, it just there's a lot of explaining, you know what I mean? Like the history, what I felt, what I tried, and I don't know, it just feels like some of my videos don't do as well on TikTok, so I'd rather just put those videos on the YouTube side, who knows? But yeah, thank you for that question, Kim. I went on a long thing on it, but yeah. Thank you for sharing the live. Yeah, so that's a place I would love to go back to. So yeah, I don't know if you're on the live still, Chris, but yes, that's another place I really want to go back. And I was talking to YouTube people about it, about going back and doing this. Oh, thank you for the follow. That's so nice of you. Okay, so this is from Joe Grizzly 99, and the story is called Ghost Dog? Question mark. When I was growing up, I lived with my grandmother, and we had a dog named Wally. We had him since he was a puppy. He had bad health issues. He ended up passing away when I was 17 and 11. He had very bad diabetes. 4 years went by with absolutely no sign of him anywhere until the Sunday of 2021. It was a regular night, and I stumbled into the bathroom at night. The hallway was very dark, and I couldn't see as I was walking just before I reached the bathroom. Right outside my grandmother's door, I stepped on something and almost fell over it. I didn't see a thing. It was just I felt like a dog. Felt like just like oh, I was freaking out. So I pulled my foot back and turned on the lights on, and there was absolutely nothing there. I'm still stumped as to what this was. There is no mistaking that I picked up a dog bed. I felt the fur on my feet. It was so weird. I even felt body heat as if the thing was living, but there was nothing there. Then oh, the even more convincing part was at the same spot. That was the same spot where Wally was always laying on, right outside my grandmother's door. Oh my God, my heart! I have a book suggestion for you. The book of Bizarre and Beyond. Bizarre both. Oh, thank you. Let me write this down because I love these recommendations. Thank you. Yes. See, okay. I'm seeing you next week at VidCon. Yes, Jamaican John. You guys should check out Jamaican John's content. Um, yes, I I will be at VidCon, and I have a shirt that I'm bringing to VidCon, as I was mentioning. But yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so the book of bizarre. Oh, there we go. Thank you for that. Okay, I have it jotted down here. Thank you for that recommendation. Volunteer. Okay, yeah. Oh my God, I'm a library gal. I don't know if you guys are a library person. I've had some great finds at libraries. Like I've listened to like CDs. I know like CDs, right? But I've listened to some stuff that I'm like, if I really want to buy it, let me listen. Movies. I used to get movies when I was a kid at libraries. Like so, when I was living, when I moved out on my own for the very first time, I actually didn't live too far from a library, and I didn't want to get like internet or like a streaming service at the time. I was a poor college student, so I was like, I'm always at my boyfriend's house, and he has all that stuff, so I don't know if I need it. Plus, I'm going to school. So what I would do instead is I would rent out all like box sets and like there's so much free services at libraries that not many people know about. I mean now they're having even more stuff. But I remember back then I remember watching Game of Thrones because of a library. When this is like before they had released like season 4, so I was able to catch up. Um, Also like music, books, and also like now they have like for the iPad, I have like the library app where you can like rent books through your iPad. So yeah, fun fact, libraries. I love listening to paranormal and horror. Oh, sorry, let me see what you're saying. Okay, is that like a podcast? I have 10 on my yeah, like libraries are amazing. I'm surprised that not many people know of all the cool stuff that libraries have for like services that you never know. But yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. I also like remember reading, well, recently, it was like during the pandemic, like the lockdown. I was reading the like the Chilling Adventures, like the inspiration of Chilling Adventures. I was reading like the comic book. Oh, genre. Mhm. Yes, yes, the genre. Yes. There's a lot of good stuff. There's lots of stuff, and not many people talk about it, and I'm like, why? Why? There's so many cool things. Um, but obviously, I'm saying that I'm also a hypocrite because I haven't checked. I mean, I checked out the library where I live, and I think I needed to get a library card, but because I had just moved, I didn't like finish the process. I think my husband did that. Okay. So this one is called, or this is by Cats and Yogurt. And the story is called The Woman on My Stairs. The house is very haunted, mostly from my sister's always using it before. I also am to blame for some of the paranormal experiences in our lives. I have a few ghost friends of my own. They are around my age, and there's three of them: Abigail, Addison, and Grace. Grace is the youngest of them, and I don't really like her. She has red eyes and continues to knock down my things on my dresser. Abigail and Addison aren't as bad. They just scare me when they show up next to me without announcements. I don't see them until I turn around. My dad follows me around. I asked Abigail if she knew, and she said he looked like his daughter that's still alive. And as soon as I heard her say that, I knew he meant no harm. These four ghosts aren't the main part of my story, though. There's much more I'm willing to explain before the woman on my stairs. So I started seeing ghosts at a really young age of 7 because of how much they scared me. I would sleep with my mom almost every night, or at least with someone. At my dad's, I wouldn't have those problems because anything that spawned into my mom's house stayed in my mom's house. And on occasion, a few days after my grandmother passed away, I would see her smile at me while I was sleeping. That would scare me even more, but not as much as it normally would because I had this feeling she wasn't there to hurt me in any way. So instead, she was there to protect me from evil that comes into my mom's house. So the same thing happened when my great grandmother had passed away just a few months later from Alzheimer's. Thankfully, it was just a peaceful death while she was sleeping. I never got to meet her, which made me quite sad. My sister's cat had also died a few days before my great grandmother. I still see him walking around the house, and to this day, and sometimes she still cries out about it, but he was such a good boy. This isn't all the ghosts in my house, though. My downstairs bathroom, right in front of the stair, is a portal between the paranormal and the living. Many demons and angels, even fallen angels, that come, come through there during the night when it's almost active. Sometimes when I'm having sleepovers with my friends, we all go down there and a spirit will push something off the counter, and those things will occasionally break when they get pushed. One of the spirits managed to get out of the portal line and now stays roaming in my stairs, making them creak and bang at night. Sometimes even peek over the ledge at the top to see what me and my friends are doing. The story has been 100% real, and I will write again once something else happens. Harmonica, sorry, is it harmonica? Let me just. I'm sorry, harmonica or harmonica? Harmonica, sorry. I mispronounced. Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for that recommendation. That recommendation. Yeah, so I'm checking out their stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Who knows? I know like yeah, I've been wanting to do more collaborations. I have one of my really good friends. We're trying to plan a trip soon and do something together as well. And but you know what? I will say this. Thank you for recommending another like person that like let's put it this way. Thank you for recommending another Latina. That's awesome. The story was pretty fun. Yes, it was. These are some really interesting stories. I recently did a video. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for that recommendation. Thank you for recommending another Latina. I always love seeing Latinas in the space. I don't ever run into them. Like my algorithm doesn't show me as much, but also I don't really watch a lot of paranormal like stuff from other people. Unless of course I've collaborated with them or I've met them in person, I'll check out their work. I just don't do it just because like, I'm so busy with my own content and stuff. So it's like, oh man. I heard a baby cry at the graveyard in Jalisco. Interesting. That is very interesting. Um, but yeah, most of the time I'll see people in like the paranormal space always recommend Salmon Colby, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, but hopefully hope to do some collaborations with some of my really good friends soon. Um, I've been trying to plan some stuff out. It's just hard. It's hard. I actually think I don't know about you guys, but I think like collaborations through TikTok is harder, whereas if YouTube it seems a lot easier. So, and also, fun fact, I recently was on Unearth the Unearthing the Supernatural YouTube. So they are two Navajo paranormal investigators and they're brothers. They're so knowledgeable. They're so amazing. You should check out their YouTube if you haven't. I think they're on YouTube and Instagram and they are amazing. Like I've learned a lot with them. I got to see them do we did an investigation in the at Tombstone, Arizona, in the Boot Hill Cemetery. They are amazing though. I like can't express how amazing they are. um Also, because here's the thing, you guys, like while the paranormal is amazing and like everyone has their experiences and beliefs, like that's what makes this such a very interesting like community. A lot of people without knowing borrow things or mislabel things from indigenous cultures. And so like I love that they are bringing more of that education and knowledge into this space. Um, but yeah, it's you should if you really like stuff like that or want to learn more about it, check out their work. They are so amazing. Um, but yeah, all right, guys, I think I'm going to end this live. I know I've been on the live for a while. And also, shout out to the people on YouTube. You guys are amazing. I really can't thank you guys enough for being on my live on YouTube. You guys are so awesome. And yes, I know you can see the Johnny on there. Um, but yeah, please check out my YouTube if you haven't. I would love to do more lives for my YouTube. I feel like it's a little bit, I love this layout better, but I'm always happy to do a live on both TikTok and YouTube. But yeah, I'm going to be at VidCon. If anyone sees me at VidCon, don't feel shy. Say hi. I actually had somebody say hi. Okay, before I leave, someone said hi to me at the movie theater. Okay, this is an interesting story. So, but it was like it made me shy, which is so funny. I'm like a very like I was not expecting this. So I went to go see Spider-Man into the multiverse and I was at the movie theater. So here I was, like in line to get popcorn and food. And I was wearing my Spider-Man getup, and it was just so funny because like I had a Spider-Man skirt, and I don't really own a lot of Spider-Man things. Like I own Venom things. I love Venom. So I had a Venom shirt, and I had like the skirt. So I was like, yeah, I'm still representing Spider-Man, you know. Well, anyway, so here I was in line, and there's like three people just staring at me, and I was like, what's happening? What's happening? And then well, the guy walked up to me and he was like, "Are you this girl?" And it was me. I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And like, yeah, it was fun though. It was fun meeting people, and yeah, it was great. So yeah, if you guys go to VidCon and see me, say hi to me. It'll be a great time. We can all be awkward together. I won't bite. Um, Kim says, "Are you excited for the new Insidious movie? It looks really good. It's supposed to be the last one." I am excited. I really want to see it. Lily says, "Hi, Steph. Hope you had a great day." I did. Thank you. Hope you have a great day, or had a great day. So yeah, I'll be going to VidCon. Again, if you're following me on Instagram, I'll be wearing that shirt. That shirt that I posted on Instagram with the Stephanie and the ghost and Tell Me Your Ghost Story. I'm gonna be wearing that at VidCon. People know. People know it's me. I want to hear your ghost stories. We can chat about that. My YouTube name is Stephanie Strange. So the way it's spelled on here, minus the underscore. You'll find me on there. Stephanie Strange. But yeah, Stephanie Strange, you can find me there. And then I do have some videos of like the investigation that I did in Apple Valley. I'm hoping to post those Tombstone videos soon. Um, but yeah, fun stuff. I started a new job, so I'm getting more monies so I can do more videos and edit them. Would I teach tarot? Yes, but I actually love this. So I do the psychic development circle right now. So it's more of like me helping people develop their psychic abilities through that, like guided stuff. So that's more of my focus. Me and my husband are doing that. We're hoping to do an online psychic development soon. I know people, because people travel so far. We had somebody, like, drive, and I felt so bad, but I was also like, "What the heck?" You guys are amazing. I had somebody, they found me on a podcast, and they started checking out my work, content, they messaged me about the psychic development, and they drove so far to the psychic development, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." So, yeah, I mean, I wanna help out people who wanna be part of it, so if, I'm seeing a little bit more of a demand for online stuff, so me and my husband are thinking of doing an online psychic development. I will say, though, it's a lot more impactful in person because we do the meditation, we also, like, are in spaces that are, like, haunted, well, some one of them was haunted, and in the other space, like, they work with, like, entities and magic and stuff, so it is an interesting circle because you you get to, like, experience all of that, um, whereas, like, with a Zoom chat, it's a little bit challenging. Oh, hi, Ray, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind teaching tarot, but honestly, my specialty is more of, like, using the psychic side and psychic medium side and feeling things around me, like, that's, like, my jam, but and not to say that I don't, because I do use tarot when I go into investigations. I use my oracle cards and tarot and all that stuff, but, yeah, that's a good question. Um, I know I said I was gonna go, and then I kept rambling for, like, another 10 minutes. But, yeah, shout out. You guys are amazing. I'm so, like, I can't believe you guys are on my YouTube. That's so sweet. Alright, um what are some paranormal horror recommendations, for, like, podcasts or movies and stuff? Or sorry, I don't can you clarify, please? But yeah, so, yeah, making a shirt. I do okay, Kim, you had another question. I did have a question. I did make a sweater called "I made it after 10 PM" because I used to do the 10 PM series, like, "Don't watch after 10 PM." But I think, like, TikTok didn't like that terminology because it was, like, suggestive, not in a bad way, suggestive, so I stopped doing that series. That's why I was like, thank you, that's so kind of you." Paranormal for I can't, like, put my words. So YouTube recommendations. Okay, so I recommend, of course, my channel, but I also do stories on Something Scary. They have a YouTube channel, and Something Scary, you'll find me on there too. It's like short stories, black and white animations. And of course, my one of my best friends, Brittany Crab, she is like an amazing paranormal investigator. She is so awesome. And also Unearthing Supernatural. They're amazing too. They're so knowledgeable. I think they just released their trailer for their stuff. Paranormal Con, Tombstone in April. I'm glad. I really, really, really wanna I will go there again. I had so much fun. I will totally go out there again. Ray, are there any other paranormal conventions that you recommend in LA coming up or anything? I know I might go to Para OC Um, I know that Jacqueline and Hero are co-hosting that one. So but yeah, there's a couple of things I wanna do. I know there's also one in Vegas I wanted to attend to, that I was told about. I think it's more of like a UFO one, but I think they also have, like, people there. Oh, yeah, sorry, I know I got sidetracked. For YouTube, bedtime stories, I love bedtime stories. So they also do, like, scary animations, and they have a podcast, that's great. Uh, Rental Radio is a podcast. That's another one that I listen to, and, Lore, can't go wrong with Lore. By the way, I mentioned bedtime stories, this is their logo, and excuse the breadcrumbs, I was eating a cupcake, but this is their logo, so if you find them on YouTube, and I have their book, I like love them. They, like, literally help inspire me to, like, tell scary stories, so they're amazing. Another pod it's not a YouTube, but it's a podcast. It's called Weird Darkness. Monsters Among Us is also another one. I love Monsters Among Us because it, they get people to call in and leave their stories, like short stories. Um, but yeah, I'm more of a podcast girly, but yeah. It's a couple cool stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to give a shout out. I'm always happy to check it out nonetheless. And yeah, let me see who else. I don't remember what else. Yeah. Yeah, I think those are, like, the ones that I really like. Oh, Sapphire, my friend Sapphire Sandalo, she does scary stories on YouTube. She's literally, like, such a talented individual. Um, so yeah, those are a couple of ones that I can think of that do, like, scary stories and whatnot. So, yeah. Weird Darkness, yeah, Weird Darkness, like, I it's interesting because I'm surprised. So I had been listening to him for, like, since 2000 and no, 2018. I've been listening to his podcast. And he just, like, started to monetize. He's such an underrated podcast. Like, you can tell he puts so much work in his production. And I think it wasn't until recently he started, like, monetizing and doing this full time, which is crazy. I think, like, not many people know about his podcast. It's amazing. It's like his production quality is so amazing. Now, if we're talking about, like, true crime stuff, or like unsolved cases and like missing 411. There is a podcast I listen to. It's called Locations Unknown. I also think they post on their YouTube. So they don't do like anything supernatural paranormal, but they do a deep dive on missing people in national forests, and they go through like the hiking, like because they're avid hikers. I used to hike all the time when I lived in Colorado, so I do resonate with like what they give out as advice, and they have a podcast too, and I think it's posted on YouTube. Chris says, when you go to a haunted location, are you gonna film it on TikTok? Or I really want to. Honestly, guys, I'll be honest. If I film haunted stuff, most of it I want to put it up on my YouTube. I do post like small segments of my haunted stuff on like Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. I will say though, like if you guys want to see, like I ask questions more so on so you get more of my personality, I think, on Instagram because I post like stories, like that's where I like show glimpses of myself. YouTube, I really want to push out my long format videos and go over things that I find. And I think like with TikTok, the algorithm has been not the best, I think. So I just been posting more of like, my regular scary images and stories on there, but that's like what I hope to achieve with it, and opposed to what I've seen around like YouTube or Twitch or something like that. Especially since like this year sometime, we'll see, because there's been all this stuff with TV. But there's 2 episodes coming out this year of when I was on Mysteries Decoded, and I'm hoping to do like a watch party and stuff on maybe YouTube or Twitch. So yeah, but yeah, if you haven't checked out my YouTube, please do. I'm hoping to post more long format videos on there and whatnot. It just seems a little bit more smooth for both myself and the audience. But yeah, good question, Chris. Okay, I know I keep rambling, and I'm gonna go, and then I don't. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the live.